I'm back like I never left. So look, y'all, sometimes life gonna hit you with the curveballs. Sometimes life gonna throw a curveball at you and it's gonna be like, what? I knew how to take fastballs. You know, I get that 100-mile-an-hour boy, but the curveball, you know, it switches things up. It comes out of left field. Not literally. That'd be one hell of a curveball, huh? I got hit with a curveball today. And I think the interesting thing about when life hands you those when you have those moments, right? There's what's the reaction? What's the reaction in you? And the neat thing about it is they're tests sometimes, or maybe all the time. You know, I'm not the creator of the universe, so I don't know if they're always a test, but you know, when you're doing this work on yourself, like when you're maintaining yourself, you're going through your journey, healing, wanting to be a better person, wanting to grow and evolve and just, you know, move on to higher plateaus. There will come times where you get thrown a curveball, and that's an opportunity for you to see how far you've come. Maybe in with that particular thing, but like there's a measure, there's a possibility. And you're like, okay, how would this affect me now? How did this affect me 10 years ago? Whatever, like what happens and how can I get past this? There was all these little things. And it's not something that it's not new to me. I've experienced before with different things. I had a story about when I was in Arizona and I was, you know, still very much kind of in the thick of my process. And I had a moment where I felt really insecure and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh. But because I had been doing the work at that point, you know, couple of years, like I was able to maintain myself, although there was that pull initially to go back to the past and be steeped in that thing that I've already, you know, overcome. And when you have those moments, it's just like, okay, I feel good. Like everything that I've been doing to heal, to grow, to learn, it hasn't been for nothing. Like there was a reason why I experienced it, and you know, it helped. Things helped. So it's one of those times where you kind of have to pat yourself on the back, because you know the small victories, although maybe small, they do hold a certain amount of sway. It's like, it's not a life-altering thing, but it can alter your path just a bit. Because like if you're traveling long distance, let's say you're going 2,000 miles, and you're off by 1 degree of the angle, and you go the whole way in that 1 degree off, you know, angle, you're going to end up in a totally different place than if you were on the right track over a long distance, like 2,000 miles. So when these things happen, it's a small degree of change, but if you fail the test, that small degree of change could snowball into something ultimately worse down the line over your next, you know, 500, 1,000, 1,500, you know, miles. Like it could be something that, you know, wow, I thought I overcame this, because you had that moment where you kind of relapsed and didn't correct in the moment, you know, so it didn't take root again. You know, it's you know, when you plant stuff, you got the roots grow, right? The roots grow, and they're weak, they're small, they're little at first, but if you leave them there over time, they're gonna be huge, turn into a big old tree. You know what I mean? So nipping that thing in the bud early on, and that's like those little tests, those little things when they happen, that helps you to stay present and say, okay, let me nip this in the bud. You gotta nip it, Andy. Nip it in the bud. You ever watch the Andy Griffith Show? You gotta nip it in the bud, Andy. That's the thing. And it's cool when you do it. It's good. It shows how far you've come. in with that particular obstacle. And whether it's just managing your feelings, not reacting from a place of not being present, not reacting angrily, because what happens is when we react to someone's stimulus, whatever it may be, they say something to us, they poke us, whatever, and we react in a strong, harsh, negative way, like that, the energy that you're sending to them, they're like, some people get off on it. Some people are sick in the head, and they poke and prod because they want you to react, and they get something from it. So there's power in that stoicism to just not, but it's like, I'm not saying that this, I'd be, stoic or whatever, but just having the ability to stay calm. Hey, it's like, wait a minute, why are we freaking out? Why is this such a big thing? What's happening? What happened? What did I do? How can I support you in your understanding? Like there are things that, conversations that, and then and especially if somebody's doing it on purpose, if they're just trying to get under your skin, they're not gonna be, there's nothing you can say because there was nothing anyway. They just wanted to do that to get to you. But this and I think that's kind of one of the ways that we as people can move with grace, because that maneuvering of things, it's like you're surfing. The waves come in, right? The waves come in, they hit, they're crashing, it's wet out there, that water cold, because the Pacific be cold. It's not like the beaches in Florida where that water's warm. You know what I mean? There's stuff happening, all these waves, and you just gotta ride them. And if you're a newbie or beginner, you're probably gonna crash out. You're probably gonna wipe out. That's the right term. You're probably gonna wipe out. But when you're seasoned, when you've practiced, then when the waves come, you know how to whoo. Then now you're doing tricks. Now you stunting. Now you stunting on them. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay. And it just shows there's a certain level of mastery that you have reached. And I think that's part of the journey. Because, and I may have said this before, I've definitely said it to, in private to friends or whatever, but that's part of the soul's journey, the evolution, is that we as people, as souls, are here to assist each other in the soul's journey. That's the whole point. And we have these emotions because if we didn't have the emotions, we wouldn't care enough, or we wouldn't be reactive. There wouldn't be enough fire to get things to happen for there to be conflict and then resolution, and therefore growth. If everything is hunky-dory all the time, then it's like there's no evolution, there's no progress either. Like, it's all good. What more could we want? And I think that's why the human experience is so important for our soul's journey, because of that. I get to test my evolution on this process to mastery, because I deal with other people who are at varying levels of their mastery, and we run into each other, and then we're like, all right, well, here's what I can do for you, here's what you can do for me. Look, y'all, I understand that dealing with hurt and pain and misunderstanding and miscommunication is difficult, it's frustrating, it's hard, but I'm really a silver lining guy. I'm really I think that it's beautiful too. Yes, it's unfortunate, but then again, it's kind of not. Like, this is just, we got to think we got to think long term. I'm really playing the long game, and it's more like, y'all watch Star Wars? You ever listen to some of these people break down characters? It's really fascinating stuff, because there's the movies that you might see, then there's the novels that they have that tell you more information about what that character was thinking during this specific moment. And I like to reference the Darth Sidious, the Sith Lord that turned Anakin, right? Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Star Wars. If you haven't, I'm not gonna stop, but you need to go watch it. But anyway, and Darth Sidious literally had a 20-year plan to get this young boy who was extremely force sensitive, who was extremely powerful, raw power, and to turn him into his puppet. He had a 20-year plan to do that, and was over those 20 years poking and prodding, saying just the right things here and there to begin to poison this young boy's mind slowly enough to where at the moment of destiny, that destiny moment, he could say the right thing, that last push to turn him to the dark side. And it's just like, now obviously that's the bad guy story. The point is though, in our soul's journey, however many hundreds of thousands of lifetimes or whatever that we spend as humans, whatever it's going to end up being, on that soul's journey, this is one of the steps. This is one of the steps. It's not about right now. I mean, it's like it is, because we're here right now, we're in the present. I'm not suggesting to live in the future. I'm just saying the understanding that this right now is so temporary. It's so temporary. It's so temporary. And to get all wadded up and tangled up about something that is going in the grand scale of the universe and your soul's existence and how you're going to do everything, it's a speck. It's a drop in the bucket. So I would rather take this moment, take this time where things are potentially, the potential difficulty, and transmute the energy for my greatest benefit, because I know at the end of the day, at the end of my soul's journey, whatever that ends up being, this is probably going to get me to that point quicker. Because if you spend, your 30, 40, 50, 60, you don't learn maybe these lessons till your 70s or something. And then it's just like, how much time do you really have left? Especially depending on how you've taken care of your health. If you've been holding on to these negative emotions, that stuff can do you dirty. It does not sit well in your body when you hold on to that stuff for decades and decades. It does not. It doesn't. It's so bad for you. So it's like, I think the quicker we can transmute that energy and use it to our benefit will get us to the next thing quicker, the next necessary experience much quicker. And I don't know, for me, that's kind of what I'm all about. I mean, I do my best to be the best person I can be, to do things from love, and I'm realizing that it's just like no good deed goes unpunished. You can't please everybody. People are going to misconstrue stuff, and it's just like the best option for you, I was just telling my friend this earlier, is to be authentic. Don't try to be perfect. I feel like I'm already perfect, honestly. I feel like we're all perfect. Perfectly who we are. I don't need to become perfect through some series of arduous tasks and, proving myself. No. Perfection is inherent. My soul. I'm talking about not the body, my soul. I'm already perfect. We're all divine. And having these experiences, the body being imperfect, makes us able to grow, because through the imperfections, through the emotions, maybe this person's angry, maybe this person's more sad and depressed, maybe this person is high strung, we get to bump into each other and then have new experiences that help us grow. If we were all, perfectly perfect and human, there would be no soul growth. It's like, there wouldn't be any soul growth. It would just be, it would be bland. We'd have to put some salt. We'd have to put some salt on the earth. Just salt the whole earth, because it's bland. Just season it up. Get some Lowry's, get some garlic powder, get some cayenne for the spice. Squeeze a little lemon on there. You gotta spice it up, man. And that's what people do. We spice it up for one another. And I feel like if we can shift that perspective, shout out. If we can shift that perspective, I think it makes the journey more enjoyable, but also I feel like you grow faster. And it's like, look, it's not a rush, but I want the things, the people, the experiences that are for me, that are meant for me, in the quantities that I'm supposed to have them, in the time frame that is pleasing. And I can't get caught up on trivial, trifling things because of, you know, misunderstandings or frustrations, or it's just like it's spurring on the growth. It's spurring on the growth. And I think the growth, that's the thing. That's so important. That's what it is. And yeah, so when life throws you those curveballs and you don't know what to do, like I was gonna do a totally different video today, but I'm happy doing this one now because it was something I wasn't thinking about. And I utilized the tools that I have, the training that I've gone through, training I put myself through, to circumvent and to overcome and to come out, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. Because I know when I do things through the lens of love, that my hands are clean. And that's how I handle curveballs. I'm batting 1,000. I don't know. I don't know. I think baseball's pretty cool. The baseball players, the athletes are incredible, actually. But I don't know the verbiage. Not really. So, but anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, y'all. If you haven't seen Star Wars, go watch it. The original three, and the prequel trilogies. Solid Star Wars. You can see what I was talking about a little bit in there. But that's it. So until next time, I'm Johnny Jupiter, and remember, there is no outro. Subscribe if you like.